Get your Nissan Hardbody double cab from Tways Motor Group now, from only 1,009.
2005 Dakar Rally. Time is of the essence. Every moment on your channel of champions. Sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants. There is no defense against the sands of time. And as time runs out, we must either run with it or be buried. The Dakar Rally. Time is of the essence. Tomorrow on your channel of champions. Sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants.
Telefonica Dakar 2005 gets into Africa, stage 4 today. However, fog hits the Dakar, and not for the first time. Things grind to a halt. Two-time victor of the Dakar from Japan, Hiroshi Matsuoka, hits trouble early. Quick look back at what happened yesterday, the short stage in Granada. Stage laid out on a military area just outside of the massive city, saw some enormous crowds looking at all of the bikes, the cars, and of course the trucks through what was later on to be a very, very dusty stage indeed. We're on board with some of the latter runners, and as you can see, they were all over the place. Here we are on board with car number 345. He's calling the stage as pace notes, as really a World Rally crew would. But then the driver realises that, well, the roadbook is wrong. Here we are with Gerard de Roy, one of the hot favourites for the truck class this year, whilst other runners found their way through the dust. A bit of a precursor, really, for the later stages in Africa. Back on board with the faulty roadbook. The driver saying, well, where are we? The co-driver saying, well, it's not my fault. And the driver quite rightly saying, if you don't know where you are in the roadbook, well, then just don't say anything. De Roy taking things a little more serenely, though, as he got to the finish safely.
Ça me fait chier parce que franchement c'est pas une erreur d'incompréhension quoi que ce soit. On verra quand ça se terre. Là c'est.
These two I think are going to sort it out later. Better to get any problems out of the way early rather than have a problem in the middle of the desert.
Merci.
Then there was a long road section down to the south of Spain before the crews then got on the boat to cross the Straits of Gibraltar to go into Africa itself, the heartland, of course, of the Dakar. Last year's two-wheeled victor Nani Roma made a quick phone call home as the boat, named after a famous Arab explorer, trundled out of the harbour. The bikes, of course, were first off the boat, and they got into Morocco and got motoring, whilst others were still boarding after sundown back in Spain. Cramming all of the cars onto the boat, a major logistical problem within itself. quick photo for the family album as probably the world's most expensive floating car park sets sail. And after a quick bite to eat, it was standard Dakar practice to get a bit of sleep. Stage 4 today of the Telefonica Dakar 2005. We go from Rabat, the capital of Morocco, down to Agadir. A short road section of some 122 kilometers before the 123-kilometer special stage itself. Then 421 kilometers of road section to the finish in Agadir. Dawn this morning. The fog had descended overnight, and the fog was not going away as the icicles were literally falling off the helicopters. The locals saying to race director Patrick Zanaroli that we can organise everything for you here in Morocco. We can organise a warm welcome, we can organise a stage for you, but we can't quite organise the weather. Who can? Then race director Patrick Zanaroli on the telephone back to the start of the stage, ordering the organisers at that end of the special to let the bikes go in 2-second intervals. He says, the fog, well, it's here, it's not going to go away, and of course the helicopters, they can't take off. That's a major safety issue for us on the Dakar, and if there's a problem with any of the competitors, then of course we can't get the medical helicopters in, so it's really a safety issue. Back at the start line, David Fretinier taking things steadily, together with Mark Roma, Andy Caldicott, as they were all given the news that it was a non-competitive day on the Dakar, but just a long road section. Cyril Dupre saying, we arrived in Morocco yesterday, it was all very sunny, it was very warm, it was very green and pleasant, but now it's all been taken away from us. Never mind, we'll have another go tomorrow. Cyril getting his warm woolly back on for the long road section. A total of 666 kilometers had to be covered today by all of the competitors in the Dakar. So for the second time in yet 3 days, a long road section without any competitive mileage was to be tackled. These pictures, of course, from later on in the morning, once the fog had lifted. The fog had crept in from the sea, and it was not being our friend today. Not for the first time that a stage has been cancelled on the Dakar. The last time it happened was back in 1994. David Fretinier going through your picture together with Carlo de Gavado. Two of the Americans going through. Scott Harden just leading through. And whilst it was Kellen Walsh's birthday yesterday, Chris Blace's birthday today. 24 years old he is as well. Happy birthday. Once they'd arrived into service, a relatively easy evening for the mechanics as well. Here we have two-time victor Fabrizio Mioni saying today not to run the stage is obviously a disappointment, but on the other hand it's not a big loss. It was only a short stage of 120 kilometers, and over the whole event 120 clicks, well, it hardly matters. The real rally will start in the desert. Tomorrow we'll have a kind of preview for that, and then we'll be into Mauritania, where of course the result will be decided. So the overall ranking hasn't changed for the last 24 hours. The overall lead obviously still in the hands of David Fretinier with his 450 Yamaha. The rest of the top 10, Coma, Duran, Vinters, Ulvaceta and Esteve Puyol. The Dakar 2005 starts, but there are some new rules laid down by the organisers that really should level things out between the pros and the amateurs and for safety. Here, the boss, Zanaroli, saying a few changes this year for the sporting side of things. The deflate-inflate system for the car tyres, well, that's forbidden. We've done that to limit the advantage of the works cars and to limit the differences between factory teams and other competitors. Number of GPS points, that's limited as well. That's to return to a rally with more navigation and human adventure. Other changes include the Sentinel system, which alerts other competitors when someone is about to overtake them. The final point is we've limited the top speed of the trucks.
C'est la vitesse des camions. Il nous paraissait déraisonnable que des camions qui doivent être strictement de série roulent à plus de 150 km/h dans le désert, et donc on a fixé cette barre à 150 km/h.
The inflate-deflate system for the tyres, well, that was pioneered by Jean-Louis Schlesser in 2000. Who else could it have been? It lets cars reduce tyre pressures while still on the move as they approach the soft sand. Gives the tyre a greater footprint area and it prevents them sinking, the nightmare of all drivers. In the old days, things were done just as Captain Cook would have done to find Australia, by compass. GPS, of course, in the mid-80s kicked in. It's never been illegal to use on the Dakar, and now that it's become more available and cheaper, it's now essential for everybody to have one so they don't get lost. The brand new Sentinel system has been developed over the last 12 months. It's been tested greatly. It warns bikes and vehicles visually on the dashboard and with an audible sound to warn that a vehicle is about to pass them. And as Zanaroli said, the big trucks, they've been limited to 150 clicks. And the GPS has a telltale. The organisers... First car through our coverage today. Well, we're going to catch up with Jutta Kleinschmidt, the 2001 victor. She's in her third year with Volkswagen. She came home today on the 123 kilometre Super Special in 5th position. The 5-cylinder 2.5 litre turbo diesel. It's got a bit more grunt this year and she put it to good use. She holds 5th position overall. A place ahead of her, French downhill ski hero, an all-round top bloke, Luc Alphon. He clocked 4th position today, just only 1 minute and 24 seconds back of the stage victor. Bruno Sarbi going well, the former victor of the Dakar, running as teammate to Jutta Kleinschmidt, who we saw earlier. Well, he clocked 3rd position on the stage today, a little bit quicker than Alphon. Sarbi 3rd overall. Last year's victor from France, 6 times a victor of the Dakar on a motorcycle, once on 4 wheels. He did that last year. Stefan Pederhansel, 2nd today with his Mitsubishi Evo 3. He holds 2nd position overall. Well, who could have won the stage today? Maybe it was a stage that suited Colin McRae with his World Rally Championship experience, but no, we were all wrong. It was that man again from America, Robbie Gordon. A rookie on the Dakar, a rookie in a 4-wheel drive with probably a turbo car, never mind a diesel. He wins his 2nd stage of the Dakar. He won in Barcelona, he won it today by 53 seconds. He leads the Dakar overall by nearly a full minute. This guy is quick and he has arrived in, well, not Europe, but Africa. Sixth on the stage today, Juha Kankkunen, the 1988 victor of the Paris-Dakar. First time out on the rally with the Volkswagen. And as always, the Scandinavian flick through the corners doing him well. Kankkunen 6th on the stage, 7th overall. Demavius, kind of stage he likes, but he's not in the full works Nissan. He hasn't got fully independent suspension. He's still running with a solid rear beam, so he was struggling a little. Demavius 7th today. Maybe an old car, but it doesn't half sound good. De Villiers works Nissan, 8th today. He holds still 6th position overall. The South African just bedding himself in well. Fellow Nissan teammate Ari Vatanen just a couple of seconds back of De Villiers on the stage today. Four-time Dakar champion, keen not to go too quickly, too early. Nasser Al Attiyah out of Qatar, driving the BMW. Since last year when we saw him drive the Dakar for the very first time, he's been to the Olympics, clay pigeon shooting and medal winning on behalf of Qatar. What an all-round sportsman. Colin McRae, 1995 World Rally Champion, won the stage 24 hours ago, not to be today. He had a puncture, he lost time, 3 minutes and 47 seconds in fact. He dropped to the stage victor Robbie Gordon. McRae really on the back foot, kind of stage that he would have done well in, were it not for that puncture. McRae though holding 10th overall. Only a short stage, hardly the end of the world. Likewise for Carlos Souza. Souza 12th on the stage today, a little further back in 13th. Jose Maria Servia with the V6 Schlesser buggy, just outside the top 10 with 13th today. Nanny Roma bedding himself in gently with the Mitsubishi as he learns the Dakar from a seat rather than a bike. What about Schless? He dropped time today, 15th. He is 16th overall. Kenjiro Shinazuka, he was 21st on the stage today. Whilst this is Christoph Holovic, you may never have heard of him on the Dakar, that's because he's a rookie. But he's done many a World Rally Championship events. Cor Oyser, an endurance runner, he had a good run as well on his rookie Dakar. He finished 39th today. We'll be bringing you up to date with some other well-known names in motorsport as the rally progresses. What about Hiroshi Mashioka? He had a puncture, the two-time victor of the Dakar, therefore dropped time, and he dropped to 16th on the stage today, over some 7 minutes back of the victor Gordon. That leaves Mashioka in 14th position overall. Andrea Meyer, she's done the Dakar on a bike, now she's well used to it from the driver's seat. Andrea Meyer, 17th today, both on the stage and in the overall rankings. The Atlas Mountains, spectacular for us, but dusty for the drivers. Darren Skilton, he's done the Dakar before. He's safely through today on behalf of the USA. Well, America waits 27 years to get a stage win, and they get 2 in 3 days. Robbie Gordon topping the table today ahead of Peter Hansel, Sabi, Alphon, and Jutta Kleinschmidt. Those VWs are going like the wind. There you have it overall. Gordon leading by nearly a minute ahead of the reigning champion. Elsewhere, Colin McRae just on the bubble of the top 10.
And I was really interested in getting this first stage going, because the first 2 stages were like qualifying, and now be some fast stuff, and we'll see if we how we size up compared to the competition.
Every day it will be for you a discovery of this rally.
Every day is new. Every day is a new experience, and it's great to be here in Morocco. I've never seen anything like this. Never raced on stuff like this before. So, having a lot of fun.
On s'est mis dans un bon rythme, c'est sûr qu'on a essayé de suivre McRae devant. Et puis apparemment on revenait sur lui, il a crevé l'année passée, et puis après on est resté très concentré parce qu'en fait c'est spécial comme ça. Effectivement on ne peut pas gagner grand chose, on va pas prendre 10 minutes ou 15 minutes, par contre on peut perdre beaucoup parce qu'il y a beaucoup de pièges, des cailloux au bord de la piste, des saignées assez dangereuses, donc il faut quand même garder une bonne marge de sécurité, donc je ne sais pas quel temps on fait par rapport aux autres, mais on est en tout cas dans le coup, ça va.
It's nice to have a short stage to warm up. You know, it still feels quite long when you compared with the normal rally. It's a long stage.
It's to take your mark, to feel good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, to feel the car and everything's okay in the car. The car feels good, so it's nice. It was a nice stage.
Jean-Louis Schlesser, driver, constructor and team boss all in one. He's been conspicuous by his absence in the last 12 months, but, well, he's got a new V8 in the back of his car, whilst teammate Jose Maria Servia from Spain has still got the older V6 version. The others were intrigued.
On a préparé 3 voitures. Donc 2
Schless saying we've prepared 3 cars back at base, 2 with a V6 and 1 with a V8. But then when the Dakar route was announced, it was really a slow and twisty kind of route, so we could have chosen the 2 V6 cars. If it had a lot of sand, we could choose 1 V8 and 1 V6. It means that if some stages were really twisty and slow, Servia in the V6 would be quicker, and if it's more sandy, as it should be, then I should be quicker with the V8 engined car. Schless has shortened his V8 at the front end to make it easier in the dunes, whilst also spending a great deal of time in the Ford wind tunnel. The block is out of the Ford Explorer, 5.5 litre V8 with 285 horsepower. A lot more torque lower down than the V6. That'll make it easier to drive later on in the rally. But moving up from a V6 to a V8 means he's actually in the next weight category, and he's got to carry another 180 kilograms. This now means he's only 20% lighter than the top 4 before cars, still with 2-wheel drive. He says to be at the forefront of victory for the Dakar, you've got to have a powerful engine against these professional and experienced teams. We had to try something a bit like poker this year. There will be 2 marathon stages. Not bad for us, because so far we've always had good cars, well built and reliable. Schless doesn't like losing. He's won everything else he's ever done. French Touring Car Championship, World Endurance Championships, World Cup for Rally Raid. He won the Dakar 99 2000. Kind of his style. Really what Schlesser has this year is the car that he built for last year until he rolled it into a ball during a shakedown test before the rally. He therefore had to use the V6. Last year, Jose Maria Servia won a singleton stage on the Dakar, but he was dogged with many problems to finish up only 19th overall. With his V6, Servia has a conventional 5-gear H-pattern box, which he continues to use this year. Says since the end of 98 I've been working with Jean-Louis Schlesser. It's going very well together. I'm very happy to be part of this team. It's exciting to be with him, and I've been able to get some good results thanks to the whole team. I'm so proud to be involved with him that I hope I have some more success in the future. Ford have yet to win the Dakar, but Schlesser's won, as I said, everything else he's ever competed in. Schlesser has a small but very powerful team that is based in Cannes in the south of France, and with the very tight-knit team that he has around him, the others continue to look behind them. The trucks continued today on the Telefonica Dakar, stage 4 for them, 123 kilometers down from Rabat to Agadir. Vladimir Chagin, the victor of the stage, ahead of Gerard Deroy, Kabirov and Mardif. Overall, though, Chagin continues to lead from Gerard Deroy, but there was a big accident further down the field for one of the service vehicles, number 854, the Mercedes, with Kell, Vilnem and Osman driving. It was a biggie. You can see why the organisers have tried to limit these trucks to 150 kilometers an hour. It was a big accident as everything spilled out of the truck. A couple of minor injuries, but otherwise people okay. Tomorrow we're going to have stage 5, the stage from Agadir down to Smara. We start off with a 240-kilometre road section before the stage gets underway, which takes place over 381 kilometres, a total of 654 kilometres tomorrow, and already we are out of Morocco in but 24 hours' time. The Dakar continues. We look forward again to your company.